Well, it has come out that Prince Harry, I won't call him Prince anymore. He's only a prince by blood, I guess, but he's given up that life. So Harry and Meghan Markle have decided to find a new home in the United States. That is what is coming out now. Um, Now, we're not sure whether or not they've just gotten tired of Canada, the cold, the wet, the bad weather. In Vancouver Island. And they say Vancouver is actually one of the one places in Canada that has the nicest weather. That's what I've heard. I've never been out to Vancouver before. But it looks like they're going to at least have a second home in Los Angeles. And I'm guessing that would be for the winter. And then I guess the fall and the summer, late summer, they may be in Vancouver. Um, it could even be that they're just sick of Canada. Megan. She doesn't tolerate things for too long. She doesn't tolerate her father for too long. She doesn't tolerate her ex-husband for too long. She doesn't tolerate the royal family for too long, and now Canada's on the menu. She's given up on Canada now. She's given up on Trudeau and all that stuff. So she wants to move Harry and the baby to L.A. The president of the United States has come out, Trump, and said, "Well, they're welcome here. He likes the Queen, but he will not pay one penny towards their security costs." That's what he has said on Twitter, saying that he's a fan of the Queen and um, his mother was a fan of the Queen. "I'm a great friend and admirer of the United Kingdom. It was reported that Harry and Meghan, who left the United Kingdom, would reside permanently in Canada. Now they have left Canada for the US. However, the United States will not pay for their security protection. They must pay." And I say that's good. I'd say that's very good. I applaud that 100%. There were many people who were worried that these two would get Secret Service protection or police, LAPD or whatever. He says no, that's not going to happen, at least on the federal level. Now, whatever the state does, and California is a very elitist, and when I say elitist, very liberal elitist state. They may just do it just to spite people who have concerns about Meghan. And that's just how California is. And that's fine. That's their problem. The Californians who live there, they can try and pester their government to stop them from doing that. But Meghan and Harry have replied. They have replied today, actually. And according to them, or a spokesperson, I guess you can't say spokesman anymore, the Duke and the Duchess of Sussex, I refer to them as Harry and Meghan Markle, have no plans to ask the United States government for security resources. And that's what the spokesperson for Meghan and Harry told Fox News. Privately funded security arrangements have been made, which is good. Now, I'm not necessarily blaming them. I've been very critical of them. I know that she's obviously, I don't even have to know her to know that she's a very difficult person, and her husband has lost all sense of himself. I'm sure they haven't reached out or asked for any type of security or any type of payment or anything like that. But the fact that the president of the United States came out and said, "No, this isn't going to happen." There was a big controversy in my country here where they said, where Justin, whom I refer to as the tacky-headed, tar-faced, swift-foot, two-faced Mac Daddy Trudeau, was waffling all over the place, saying he wouldn't know, he doesn't know if they would pay. Canada is a member of the Commonwealth, so maybe we might have to pay. It's our duty. He's a member of the throne, and the same British throne is a Canadian throne. I don't think that makes any sense. People say, well, it's our history, and I tell those type of Anglo-Saxon individuals who say that the British monarchy is Canada's history, the French monarchy is also part of Canada's history as well. Natives are Canadian history as well. That argument makes very little sense. We're an independent country now. History has passed. So for you to have these people still on the throne doesn't make any sense. It's only, to serve satisfaction of the old Anglo-Saxon elite in Canada. They're the only ones who ever would support the monarchy. Old uh, English descended white folk. Nobody else gives a damn about the Queen. Many people in Canada don't even know she is the Queen of Canada. So, maybe it doesn't even matter. But I'm glad that the president has come out and said, no, America isn't going to pay for anything when it comes to these people. They can come here, they're welcome, but we're not paying. Now, again, we don't know whether or not they're leaving Canada or they're living part time in America. I mean, at this point, who cares? They're private citizens now. As long as they're not getting public money, as long as the public is not having to foot the bill for these ex-royal people, I don't think there should be any fuss. And I'm glad that the president came out and said that. I will be continuing to keep an eye on this situation because you never know what fast move they will try to pull because, just because they are not royal anymore, doesn't mean that they don't feel entitled. And we have seen that even with them being retired. So we still have to keep an eye on them because they may feel entitled to certain privileges. They tried to pull a fast one with Canada, thinking that Canada was their dominion, was their colony, just like their ancestors used to do, and it didn't quite work out that way. So now they're going to try and move to Los Angeles. We'll see what they do, but it looks like the U.S. is firm in saying they won't be getting any security aid, any food aid, any lodging aid, nothing. They are now private citizens and they have to live their own way. And hopefully they understand that. And if not, I'm pretty certain that the United States has more of a backbone to deal with them than Canada. So as long as they are out of Canada, the taxpayers look to be relatively safe and secure. I don't know if the Canadian government is still continuing to fund them in any type of way outside of the country. If they were, that would be such a grave, disorderly, horrible thing to do, to be using our taxpayer dollars. And I wouldn't be surprised if Canada, this current Canadian government, would try something like that. These two individuals in a foreign country, the United States, and we are still continuing to pay for their security, even though they're not here. That would be very disorderly, and I would make noise about that. So we're going to continue to watch this, and this is the Arana